5 subtle signs an elderly loved one may be in their final year. Don't overlook these warnings. Recognizing the silent messages of the body. Aging is a journey filled with wisdom, love, and transformation. Yet, as our loved ones grow older, their bodies begin to whisper messages, subtle changes that, if ignored, may leave us unprepared for what lies ahead. Death rarely arrives without warning. More often than not, it sends quiet signals months, even a year before its final approach. The challenge is that these signs are easy to overlook, dismissed as mere aging rather than the body's way of preparing for its final chapter. Many families only realize the significance of these changes in hindsight, when moments that could have been cherished slip away. But recognizing them early is not about surrendering to fear. It's about embracing the time that remains with clarity, love, and purpose. When we understand what's happening, we can provide better care, ease discomfort, and most importantly, create a peaceful, dignified farewell that honors a lifetime of memories. This journey is not just about medical signs, it's about human connection. It's about holding a frail hand a little longer, listening to old stories as if they were being told for the first time, and making sure our loved ones feel seen, valued, and deeply loved in their final days. The last chapter of life is as important as the first, and how we navigate it can shape the legacy of love we leave behind. In this article, we'll explore 5 key signs that may indicate an elderly person is in their final year. These signs are not meant to instill fear, but to provide awareness. When we recognize them, we gain the power to act, not to prolong life at all costs, but to fill every remaining moment with warmth, care, and peace. Because in the end, what truly matters is not how long we have, but how deeply we love. 1. Unintentional weight loss. A silent warning from the body. At first, it seems insignificant. A looser belt, a favorite sweater hanging differently, a plate of food left half-eaten. We tell ourselves it's normal, that aging comes with a smaller appetite and a thinner frame. But when weight loss becomes noticeable, when bones press against skin and strength fades with every passing week, it's no longer just aging. It's a message, a quiet but urgent signal that the body is beginning its final transition. Weight loss in the elderly is rarely random. It often means the body is no longer absorbing nutrients the way it once did. The digestive system slows, muscles deteriorate, and energy levels drop. Even food itself loses its appeal. Taste buds weaken, the act of chewing feels exhausting, and the simple desire to eat diminishes. This is not just a shift in dietary preference. It's the body preparing for the inevitable, prioritizing only what it deems essential. Many families, in their deep love and concern, try to fight this decline. They encourage their loved ones to eat more, to finish their meals, to drink high-calorie shakes in hopes of reversing the weight loss. But when the body is signaling that it no longer needs as much nourishment, force-feeding does little. Instead, the focus should shift from quantity to comfort, from pushing for extra bites to making each meal a moment of warmth and connection. Rather than measuring food intake, measure joy. A spoonful of a favorite dessert shared over laughter, a sip of tea while reminiscing about the past, a small meal enjoyed in the presence of loved ones. These moments matter far more than an untouched plate. When we stop fighting the process and start embracing it with love, we replace fear with understanding. We stop trying to hold on to what is slipping away and instead make the time that remains truly meaningful. Unintentional weight loss is not just about numbers on a scale. It's a sign that the body is letting go, piece by piece. And while we cannot stop this process, we can walk beside our loved ones with grace, ensuring that every meal, every touch, and every shared moment is filled with care, dignity, and love. Because in the end, it is not the food that sustains them, it is us. If you've made it this far, It means you deeply care about your loved ones and want to ensure they receive the best care in their final chapter. Type number 1 in the comments to let us know you're here, learning, and embracing this journey with love and understanding. And if you haven't yet, subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss heartfelt insights that can help you navigate aging with wisdom and grace. Your support means everything to us. Now, let's move on to number 2. 2. Persistent fatigue. When energy begins to fade. At first, it's just small changes, a slower pace when walking, an extra yawn in the afternoon, a little more time spent sitting instead of moving. But then, fatigue deepens. The once simple act of getting out of bed feels like climbing a mountain. Conversations become exhausting, and even lifting a spoon can feel like too much effort. This is more than just growing old. It's the body's way of conserving energy, prioritizing only what is necessary as it begins to slow down. Fatigue at this stage isn't cured by a good night's sleep. No amount of rest fully restores the energy that once was. The heart isn't pumping as strongly, circulation weakens, and muscles no longer receive the oxygen they need. Even the brain feels the effects, making thinking, speaking, and engaging in daily life more difficult. What was once effortless, buttoning a shirt, walking to the window, or even sitting up, now requires immense strength. For loved ones watching this unfold, the instinct is to encourage, to push. Just try a little harder. Get up and move around. You'll feel better once you're active. But this isn't laziness. It's not a lack of willpower. It's the body signaling that it's time to slow down. And rather than urging movement, the best thing we can do is honor this process with patience and compassion. This is a time for gentle comforts. Soft blankets, quiet afternoons, warm sunlight streaming through the window. It's a time for presence, not rushing, not demanding, but simply being there. Holding a hand, sharing a peaceful moment, offering a soft pillow when exhaustion takes over. These small acts of love mean everything. Fatigue is not something to fight. It is something to understand. And when we stop resisting it, we create space for what truly matters: peace, comfort, and love in the time that remains. 3. Cognitive decline and social withdrawal. When the mind begins to shift. The first signs are subtle. A forgotten name, a misplaced object, a moment of confusion in a familiar place. At first, it seems like ordinary forgetfulness, the kind that happens to everyone now and then. But over time, the gaps widen. Conversations become harder to follow, thoughts drift away mid-sentence, and memories that once felt unshakable begin to fade like mist in the morning sun. This is not just aging, it is the mind's quiet retreat, a slow farewell to the world as it once was. For families, this change is heartbreaking. The person who once told stories with vivid detail may now struggle to recall their own past. A once social and engaged loved one may begin sitting in silence, staring at nothing, avoiding eye contact. It's not that they don't care, it's that their brain is shifting, their connection to the present world becoming more fragile. What was once clear and certain now feels distant, like echoes from another life. In these moments, the instinct is to correct, to remind, to bring them back to the present. "No, Dad, you already told me that," or "Grandma, don't you remember?" But these efforts, however well-intended, only create frustration. The best response is not to pull them back, but to meet them where they are, to listen without correcting, to engage without expectation, to simply be present in whatever reality they are experiencing. Social withdrawal is often misunderstood. It's not always sadness or depression, it's exhaustion. For a mind struggling to hold on to time and place, interactions can become overwhelming. Too many voices, too many faces, too many expectations to be the person they once were. And so they retreat, not because they don't love us, but because it is easier, quieter, less confusing. This is the time for patience, for gentle presence, sitting together in silence, playing a familiar song, holding a warm hand without asking for anything in return. Even if words fade, emotions remain. Even if memories slip away, the feeling of love lingers. And in the end, it is not the details they will remember. It is the warmth of your presence, the kindness in your touch, and the love that never wavers, even when the mind does. If you've made it this far, it means you truly care about your loved ones and want to navigate this journey with understanding and compassion. Type number 3 in the comments to let us know you're here, learning and honoring the moments that matter most. And if you haven't yet, subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss heartfelt insights that can help you support those you love with grace and wisdom. Your presence means everything. Now let's move on to number 4. 4. Frequent infections and slow healing, a weakened immune system. At first, it's just a lingering cough, a small cut that takes longer to heal, a mild fever that comes and goes. But over time, these minor ailments become more frequent, more persistent. A simple cold turns into pneumonia. A tiny bruise darkens and lingers for weeks. Infections that once cleared in days now stretch into months. The body, once resilient, is no longer fighting as it used to. This isn't just a passing illness. It's a sign that the immune system is growing weaker, struggling to keep up. For most of life, the immune system is a silent protector, healing wounds, fighting off bacteria, keeping sickness at bay. But in the final stage, this defense begins to falter. Circulation slows, making it harder for oxygen and nutrients to reach damaged tissue. White blood cells decline, leaving the body vulnerable to infections that would have once been harmless. Even minor injuries, bed sores, scratches, dental infections, can escalate into serious health risks. This shift is often misunderstood. Families may assume repeated infections are isolated incidents, that another round of antibiotics will solve the problem. But when illnesses keep returning, when healing slows despite treatment, it's time to see these as signs of a deeper transition. The body is no longer focused on repair. It's reserving its remaining strength for what truly matters. The best response is not aggressive treatment, but thoughtful care. Instead of chasing every cure, focus on comfort. Keep their skin moisturized, ensure they're hydrated, adjust their position to prevent bed sores. Pay attention to subtle signs, fatigue, confusion, loss of appetite, because in the elderly, infections don't always present with high fevers. Sometimes the only symptom is a quiet withdrawal from the world. This is a time to shift priorities, not to prolong the fight, but to ease the journey. A warm blanket, a clean and peaceful environment, a gentle touch to soothe aching muscles. These small acts of love are more powerful than any medicine. Because in the end, it's not about defeating illness. It's about ensuring that every moment left is filled with comfort, dignity, and care. 5. Changes in breathing and circulation, the body's natural slowing. At first, the change is barely noticeable. A slight breathlessness after standing up, a pause before speaking, a moment of stillness before exhaling. But as the weeks pass, the rhythm of breathing shifts. There are longer pauses, shallower inhales, an occasional struggle for air. The once steady rise and fall of the chest becomes irregular, unpredictable. This isn't just fatigue, it's the body's way of slowing down, preparing for its final rest. Circulation weakens alongside breath. Hands and feet grow colder, their once warm touch replaced by a quiet chill. The skin, once rosy with life, takes on a pale or bluish tint as blood flow recedes from the extremities to focus on the vital organs. Even the lips may darken, a sign that the heart is working harder but delivering less. These aren't signs of distress. They are nature's way of gently guiding the body toward stillness. For loved ones, these moments can be heartbreaking. The instinct is to fix, to call for help, to do something. But in many cases, there is nothing to fix, only a transition to ease. Encouraging deep breaths won't change the process. Rushing to warm, cold hands won't bring circulation back. The best gift in this stage is presence, sitting close, offering comfort, making the space around them peaceful and reassuring. There are ways to bring ease, keeping the room cool, propping them up with pillows, using a humidifier to soothe dry airways, a soft touch on their back, a whispered reassurance, the gentle rhythm of familiar music playing in the background. These small gestures don't change the inevitable, but they make the journey more peaceful, more filled with love. The final breath may come softly, like a fading breeze, or with effort, as if the body is taking its time to let go. But no matter how it arrives, what matters most is that they are not alone, that in these last moments, they are wrapped in warmth, surrounded by love, held not just by hands, but by hearts. Because in the end, life is not measured by its length, but by the love that carries us home. Turning fear into meaningful moments. The thought of losing someone we love is overwhelming. It's human to resist, to fight against time, to hold on to every moment as if sheer willpower could keep them here a little longer. But when we shift our perspective from fear to presence, from resistance to acceptance, something beautiful happens. We begin to see not just what is slipping away, but what still remains. And in that space, we find the deepest form of love. This journey is not about prolonging life at any cost, nor is it about helpless surrender. It's about embracing each day with intention, about filling the final chapter with warmth, dignity, and grace. Instead of fearing the inevitable, we can make it meaningful. A quiet afternoon spent reminiscing over old photographs. A favorite song played softly in the background. The reassuring touch of a hand, a whispered "I love you," a moment of stillness shared in peace. Often, the most powerful thing we can offer isn't medicine or intervention, it's presence. The gift of simply being there, without expectation, without demands. When words no longer come easily, when movement becomes too much, when breath slows to a gentle rhythm, it is our love that remains constant. A love that doesn't fade, even as the body does. A love that says, "You are not alone." Regret has no place here. What matters now is not what could have been done differently, but what can still be done today. So, let us replace fear with gratitude, for the lessons they have taught, for the memories they have given, for the love they have shared. Let us walk beside them with strength, knowing that even in goodbye, there is grace. And when the time comes, may we find peace in knowing that we have given them the greatest gift of all, a farewell filled with love. Embracing the journey with love and purpose. In the end, life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. The journey of saying goodbye is not just about loss. It's about love, about showing up when it matters most. It teaches us patience, compassion, and the true depth of human connection. When we stop fearing the inevitable and start embracing the time we have left, we transform grief into gratitude, sorrow into meaning. The greatest lesson of all? Presence is the most powerful gift we can give. Not solutions, not desperate attempts to hold on, but simple, unwavering love. A quiet hand to hold, a voice that reassures, a heart that understands. These are the moments that matter, the ones that leave a lasting imprint long after words and time fade away. If this message touched you, let us know by commenting 111 below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support gives us the motivation to continue creating meaningful content that uplifts, inspires, and helps us all navigate life's most important moments. Together, let's cherish every second we have with those we love. Love.